The golden arches at midnight. The neon arches glowed like twin fires in the distance, a beacon in the empty night. McDonald's has always felt safe, hasn't it? Bright lights, familiar smells, the comfort of greasy fries and a warm burger. But that's the lie. What I'm about to tell you proves that those golden arches don't just draw in the hungry, they attract something else. Something that doesn't belong in this world. It began with a story from the Midwest. A college kid named Derek was driving home late one night. The roads were empty, and the only thing still open was a McDonald's off the highway. He pulled in, desperate for caffeine and something to eat. Inside, the place was dead silent. Not empty, silent. The hum of the refrigerators was gone. The soda machine didn't hiss. Even the fluorescent lights above flickered soundlessly, like a muted film reel. The girl at the counter smiled at him, too wide, too stiff. "We've been expecting you," she said. Derek froze. Expecting him? He hadn't told anyone he was coming here. The words crawled into his skull like worms. He laughed nervously and ordered a coffee, but when he blinked, the girl was gone. The counter was empty. His cup sat there steaming. He hadn't seen anyone pour it. He hadn't heard a machine grind. Just silence. He took the cup with shaking hands, but before he could sip, something pressed against the glass window behind him. A pale face. No eyes. No mouth. Just smooth skin stretched tight where features should be. He dropped the coffee, burning himself, but when he spun around, the glass was clean. Nothing outside but the empty parking lot. He bolted for the door, but it wouldn't budge. Lock. Panic surged through his chest. That's when the fryer roared to life. Oil bubbled violently, though no one had touched it. Something was in the kitchen. Something scraping metal against tile. Derek ran into the bathroom, slamming the door. He didn't breathe. He didn't dare. But from under the stall, another set of shoes appeared. Black, dripping wet, facing his. And above the stall door, a whisper crawled into his ear, though no one was there. "We've been expecting you." He woke up hours later in his car, parked outside the McDonald's. The lights were off. The sign was dead. The receipt from his coffee sat in the cup holder, timestamped 3:03 a.m. That was the first story. But not the last. A girl named Mia worked the closing shift at another McDonald's in Ohio. It was 1:45 a.m., and the store was empty. She was mopping when she saw the fry machine turn on by itself. Frozen fries dropped into the oil, hissing violently. She went to shut it off, but the smell wasn't food, it was rot, like wet earth and spoiled meat. Her eyes watered as black smoke filled the room. She stumbled back, coughing, and through the haze she saw them. Shadows moving along the walls, long and thin, bending against the light as if they weren't bound by shape. Her manager's voice called from the back. "Mia, can you come here?" She coughed. "Yeah, 1 second." But when she walked into the kitchen, there was no one. Just a trail of greasy footprints leading into the walk-in freezer. She followed, thinking maybe he slipped. But the moment she pulled open the door, every light in the store went out. The only thing she heard was breathing, slow, heavy breathing behind her in the dark. She turned her phone flashlight on. The footprints were gone. Instead, words were written across the frost on the freezer wall. "Don't turn around." Her heart froze. Her body refused to obey. But she turned anyway. They never found Mia. The cameras showed her walking into the freezer. Then static. Minutes later, the freezer door swung open, and the mop she was carrying clattered out on its own. And then there's the last one. The story that ties them together. In Detroit, a McDonald's location kept getting complaints about the play area. Children crying, parents swearing they heard whispers inside the plastic tunnels. Staff brushed it off. Kids get scared, imaginations run wild. But one night, 2 workers decided to clean the play area after closing. They crawled into the tubes, flashlights in hand. Halfway through, the air turned cold. The smell of rotten meat seeped into their noses. And then the whispers began. At first it was laughter. Children's laughter. But as they crawled deeper, it changed. Low, guttural growls that rattled the plastic. The lights went out. One worker screamed, and the other tried to back out of the tunnel, but something was there, blocking the exit. The next morning, when the manager arrived, the play area was empty. Except for one thing. Tiny handprints smeared across the inside of the plastic tunnels. Too small to belong to either worker. Too many to count. 3 McDonald's. 3 different states. Same whispers. Same shadows. Same cold. And if you think this story is terrifying, you're nowhere near prepared for what comes next. Make sure you subscribe, because this nightmare isn't over. It's just beginning. The thing behind the arches. Derek, Mia, the 2 workers in Detroit, those weren't isolated stories. They were warnings. Warnings no one listened to. Because the arches aren't just a logo. They're a door. It always begins the same way. Midnight. The hum of machines dies. The air grows thick, rancid, like something rotting just behind the walls. People think fast food joints are ordinary, clean, safe. But in those late hours, when the staff grows thin and the last fries are salted, something slips through. Something that doesn't belong. The first to sense it are always the children. They tug at their mother's sleeves, whispering that the clown is watching them. Parents laugh because Ronald hasn't been in stores for years. But the kids insist, he's there. Not painted, not plastic. Breathing, watching, waiting. In Detroit, after the workers disappeared, police searched the tunnels of the play area. They found nothing, except a foul slime clinging to the plastic. It wasn't grease. It wasn't food. It pulsed as if alive. One officer swore it moved when he touched it. His partner laughed until the laughter turned into choking gasps. The officer's body seized, his eyes rolled back, and his mouth opened wider than humanly possible. A whisper poured out of him. Not his voice. Something else, ancient and mocking. We've been expecting you. From that night, the building was sealed. But sealed doors don't stop whispers. The girl at the counter. The breathing in the freezer. The play area hands. They all connect. They're all part of the same hunger. An entity that wears McDonald's like a mask. A parasite that feeds on repetition. The endless line of cars, the hundreds of thousands who order the same meals, day after day, until the ritual opens a crack wide enough for something to crawl through. And the worst part? Once you've heard the stories, you're part of it too. They say some nights, if you pull into a McDonald's past midnight, you'll see them. Pale figures standing just outside the glow of the arches. No mouths. No eyes. Waiting. They can't come closer, yet. But if you step inside, if you breathe the fryer's smoke, if you hear the hiss of the soda machine go silent, then it knows your name. People who've told these stories complain later of dreams. The same dream every night. A plastic tunnel stretching on forever, sticky with something wet. Children laughing ahead of them, always out of reach. And behind them, something crawling. Long arms, dragging claws, scraping plastic. Closer each time. Derek still has those dreams. He wakes screaming, convinced the pale face is pressed against his window again. Mia was never found, but the freezer where she vanished still drips water, even though the pipes have been shut for years. And the Detroit McDonald's? The building is abandoned, but locals swear the smell of burning oil still lingers. Do you feel it yet? The cold creeping along your spine. The sense that something is watching from behind your screen. That's because it is. This story isn't just words. It's a doorway. You listened. You let it in. And now, it knows you. Maybe you'll dream tonight of fluorescent lights flickering, of footsteps in an empty fast food lobby. Maybe you'll hear the fryer hiss when your house is silent. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll wake at 3:03 a.m. to the sound of someone whispering in your ear, "We've been expecting you. You're not alone anymore." And neither am I. If you dare to know more, don't forget to subscribe. You'll need it. Because the next time you see those golden arches glowing in the night, remember, it isn't food they're feeding on.